wrong, Mr. de Blowheart. I heard something's happened to Miss Towers.
You mean she's been killed?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Stark.
I knew we shouldn't have come all this way to make a picture, Max. What was wrong with all the sand in California? At least there ain't no murder and mummies in Hollywood.
And Violet, pull yourself together.
It's all stupid Rose's fault. That girl really wanted to play nice, so she sweet-talked Max to come with us on this stupid trip.
Mon Dieu, she does not know.
Know what, Frenchie?
Where have you been the last hour?
Playing pinochle? If it's any of your business.
The two of you?
Rose is too dumb to play cards.
Correction. Rose is too dead to play cards.
She was murdered in that very spot not an hour ago.
How did this happen?
It was a South American blow dart.
She may have been dumb, but she went in a pincushion. Who did this?
My dear, if we knew that, we'd have told the inspector by now.
Told me what?
Unfortunately, there's been another murder. Rosala, too, was poisoned. She was about to tell me about something important when... That's it. There must have been someone standing on the terrace that poisoned her with a fatal blow dart.
Did you turn up any sign of Mrs. Towers?
Nothing but this.
Her scarf. She bought it at Macy's on their last trip to New York. Professor Towers doted on her so. It cost her $349.
I found out these are the tar pits.
Ooh la la. Fortunately, there is no tar on it.
The tar pit? You mean somebody threw the poor creature in?
Apparently, the ghost of King Rottenlux himself.
The only consolation is that she will be preserved for all time.
Juliet said Mrs. Towers had the golden hawk when she was dragged out. Any sign of it at the tar pits, Inspector?
Nothing.
But that piece is worth $100 grand.
Why would a mummy care about money?
Oh, Max, get me out of here! Take me out of this crummy joint! Take me home! My poor little Ralph! We were just like twins!
Oh, dear.
What is it?
That could be one way.
Mr. de Blowheart, entertain no thoughts of leaving just yet.
You mean we're trapped here?
Until the killer is found.
You can't keep us here against our will. Why? I'll stick the Texas Rangers on you.
That fool! He doesn't even care about Rose! Or Ivy. Poor Ivy.
Could it be that Monsieur Stark had the ooh-la-las for Mrs. Towers?
But then he would not have killed her, no?
We don't mind, Inspector, but I've called Interpol for some information.
Oh, you are onto something?
Possibly.
Oh, I love it when you start putting 2 + 2 together.
So please, Monsieur Porkchop, there's no time slobbering like this. We've got to act quick before the killer strikes again.
But what would you have us do?
We must search the rooms.
But the suspects are in their rooms.
True, but we were invited here to see the key artifacts from the tomb of King Rottenlux. Let us see them, and a clever little addition will be sure to rattle a few bones.
Really, it's inappropriate gathering like this for a lecture when there are bodies stacked up everywhere.
I can understand your feelings, Mr. Winningstump, but maybe there's something in the treasure that could give us a clue. Humor me. Go ahead, Miss Partridge.
We know that you're always trying to stage me. You don't think a woman can get a story like a man can, but I wouldn't put it past you to commit the crime so you have something to report, Mr. Crane.
So you're the police, judge, and jury all rolled into one big package, are you?
I'm just a darn good reporter.
Excuse me, I must interrupt you two, but who are you?
Nellie Fry, New York Bugle.
Lloyd Crane, New York, there.
The media is not what we need at a time like this. If you wish to remain, you must cooperate by being silent. So, you're not in the house at the time of the first murder, eh, Mr. Crane?
Not a chance. I had to rent a donkey to get out here, and he was almost as stubborn as some people I know.
Then you could have.
Now, wait a minute.
All in due time. But for now, we are in for the most interesting presentation. Make yourselves comfortable. Miss Partridge, if you please.
We know that
King Rotlux had been buried in the Valley of the Dinglings sometime before 2200 BC. There is mention of his tomb from the early writings of the architect Olawande. He wrote, "Today we broke ground for the tomb of King Rotlux. Third to so beep hard that we broke our beep backs. The beep beep who picked this beep spot should have to beep beep the beep beep himself."
What was the guy? A road runner?
Olawande was known for colorful language. At any rate, he had to find the opening to the tomb. Originally, Rotlux was supposed to be buried in a pyramid, but after laying the first level of granite, Olawande gave up and covered the tomb in sand. He put up a few signs like this. But they were quickly taken down by early Egyptian teenagers who liked to hang road signs in their bedrooms. So it wasn't long before the location of the tomb disappeared from the face of the desert. That was until one day a man named Harfoot became mad at his wife. He said she cooked corn like a crow. This was a great insult. At any rate, she was not going to take this lying down. So she grabbed a rolling pin and chased him out of the valley and into the desert. He wandered over the dunes for 3 days, too afraid to return home. On the third day, he fell into a hole. It was the opening to the tomb. So he contacted the local authorities, and they in turn contacted Professor Towers, who was the world authority on King Rotlux, which brings us to what was found in the tomb. This ancient burial box contains some of the most precious possessions of King Rotlux. Here, for example, is a Shabti figure which was to be a worker in the king's other life. Here is a necklace made of solid gold, this symbol of life. And here is a sacred beetle, the symbol of creation. And last but not least, a picture of the sacred boat used to transport the king.
What is wrong, Miss Partridge?
Golly, this isn't a boat. For crying out loud. What is it? A message.
A message of doom.
Shucks! Read it all of it! I know your secrets. All of them. One of you killed the 3, and your identity is known only to me.
What are you doing in my stall, ma'am?
Really, Miss Maples?
Nosing about.
We hang snoops in Texas.
And do you know what they do to thieves in Egypt? It's not very pretty.
What are you talking about?
The golden hot
How'd you get that?
Is it gold?
solid with 100,000 American dollars. Third of what you collected from the investors of this expedition. An expedition which only cost $50,000. So, where did the rest of the money go, Mr. de Blowhart?
It's tied up.
Tied up in what? Your new yacht, swimming pool, gambling debts? Natural swine!
He's been quite the little piggy, swiping this and that from around the house in order to get enough money to pay the investors back. But more importantly, Mrs. Towers was the last person seen with this hawk. So, Mr. de Blowhart, how did you get it?
Now, hold on. I don't know how that got in there. So, I may not keep the best books in town. That don't mean I'm a killer.
So what am I supposed to do now?
Oh, there are plenty of other pictures you haven't adored public.
But a third of that $300,000 is mine, Miss Maples. And if I ever see Max again, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, Miss Maples. You're the last gal I'd ever think to find in Max's room. You think you got a rendezvous with Max?
With some evidence, yes.
Whatever you say, hon. Say, you ain't seen Lyle anywhere, have you? I just want to go some lines with him.
Oh, I believe he's gone that way. Mrs. Stark.
Mrs. Stark! Miss Maples, you're just a silly little thing. Why would you call me Mrs. Stark?
There's no use hiding it, Violet. I know you're secretly married to Lyle Stark. I found the marriage certificate in his jacket pocket, in the pocket closest to his heart.
Lyle's such a romantic. But you can't tell anyone, Miss Maples. Why, if the public ever found out his career would be over.
Who else knew of your marriage?
Why, Nobody.
Really, I can tell by that twitch of your eye something's wrong.
I don't know what you mean.
I found a note in your dresser. A note threatening that you either pay a certain amount or word would be leaked to the press. A note from your sister.
You can't prove nothing, honey.
Nothing!
Waiting for someone, Madame Self-Bearing Winkel?
What makes you think I'm waiting for someone?
You checked your watch.
I just wanted to see what time it was.
You do not fool Hercules Porkchop. You're waiting for who? A man you love?
Hardly.
A woman you must pay to keep quiet about a dark secret in your past?
Ridiculous.
The next victim you intend to eliminate?
Try my lawyer. I intend to sue you for slander.
Miss Periwinkle seems very upset.
She is hiding something.
Yes, I found a receipt in her handbag from a course in elementary snake charming.
You mean,
Yes, she could have put the snake in the basket.
but why? She had, what does the Americans call them, their hots for Professor Towers.
But his furnace wasn't quite as heated up as your pork chop. I found a note in her room, a note in which he completely rejects her advances, telling her she's a bit too plain, ponderous, and positively passionless.
A woman's-
Even if her hieroglyphics were top-notch.
A woman scorned to be very dangerous, yes?
Perhaps. But we were all in the same room when the basket arrived. How could she have knocked on the door?
I have not been snooping in your room, Peter.
Somebody moved my yellow rubber ducky. I always leave him on the edge of the tub, but I found him floating in the sink.
Forgive me, mon ami. I did not know that you loved the yellow rubber ducky, so I thought you only loved the ladies.
So you were rummaging about in there.
We must know the truth,
You went through all our things?
and we have learned much.
Just what did you find, Monsieur Porkchop?
Oh, you must be more careful when you are burning your mail over the fireplace. I have found the merest fragment of a letter you received.
A bill, that's all.
Oh, you have received many bills, haven't you?
I spend money, like everyone else.
Mon ami, you spend money like a king. And now, you must pay the poupia.
Piper,
That is what I said. You apparently owe $300,000 in back taxes. If you cannot come up with the cash, you will end up in prison.
so I've got a cash flow problem.
Someone has turned off the faucet, and perhaps to turn it back on, you have resorted to murder.
Ridiculous.
Or perhaps this was a love letter. Perhaps there is yet another lady in your life. Under the scrutiny of Hercules Porkchop, I will find a motive, or worse.
Monsieur Porkchop, what do you mean a motive or worse?
What's this about a love letter, Petey?
Nothing. I was burning bills.
This little twit I can handle, but someone else? Why might just drive me to murder? Hey, Miss Maples, what are you doing in my room?
Clues, my dear, we must find clues.
What are you talking about?
3 murders.
You don't think me? I mean.
Why not? You were Professor Towers' long-lost daughter from his first marriage, were you not?
You're kidding, right?
This letter found in your room describes your interest in this expedition.
Give me that.
Probably the last letter your mother had the energy to write, wasn't it? A confession.
Gosh, you can't imagine how much she hated Egypt. So she raised me in America and told me all along that I was left on her doorstep one night. And never once did Professor Tommy Towers ever try to help. He never brought me an ice cream cone, never tried to come visit me, nothing. He was so absorbed in his work, it was like I didn't exist.
But he did try and search for you, and when he found you, your mother wouldn't let him see you.
How'd you know that?
He wrote me about it years ago. Finally, he just gave up.
Gosh, if only I could believe that. I came here hating him. But then I saw this place, and I saw how much he loved his work. And now I'm so confused.
A most delicious dinner, Chef Fondue.
Merci, Monsieur Porkchop.
You beat the eggs to death.
They should be dead, just like some people in this world.
Your life has been no bowl of berries, has it not?
Cherries, Monsieur Porkchop.
That is what I said.
My life made me feel like a Swiss steak. I've been pounded, fried, and smothered with tomato sauce.
Until Professor Towers came along.
Yes, Monsieur Porkchop, he was the kindest, most generous man.
He did not deserve to die so.
Not when there's so many others who need to go first.
But Madame, who are we to decide?
First, smart man, you are so stupid. Girls. Make sure you have the chocolates on the trays for each room. Around the beds.
Yes, madame.
Excuse me, Monsieur Porkchop, I have things to attend to.
She runs a tight ship, doesn't she?
Tight ship, you mean?
That is what I said. You three are out of work, I fear.
It's awful.
What will you do?
We're going into pictures.
Oh, you will work for Monsieur de Blowhard?
We aren't positive yet. He said he wants the Ray sisters to be in the desert pictures. 3 of us getting rescued by Lyle.
This will change your lives forever, will it not?
Oh, yes, Mr. Porkchop. We'd do anything to get in the pictures. Going somewhere, Tarantella.
The spirits have warned me.
Not really. I know Mrs. Towers owed you a great deal of money.
She was cheap beyond words.
And the professor?
He scoffed at my predictions. Ha, to what end we have seen. I will now be the world's greatest soothsayer.
An excellent motive for murder, Tarantella.
To that the cards say, baloney, Miss Maples.
Yes, phony baloney. You must not walk out now, Tarantella. It is the surest way to make people think you are the perpetrator of the Cobra's kiss.
I care not what other people think.
Professor Tommy Towers' residence, Jessica Maple speaking. Yes, he did spy. Let me grab a pen. Yes? That's just what I expected. Go on. Yes, that's just what I thought. The Huguet agent spy. Well, that was a call from Interpol, the International Police Organization, confirming my worst suspicions. With these new facts, I know who the killer is, but facts alone aren't enough to provide Inspector Zudector with enough evidence to convict. There must be a way to make the killer confess. Good heavens!
Oh, Jessica, you are safe. Jessica, I feared for your life.
Was a right. Shots came from outside.
So I found the killer. You're crazy. I couldn't hurt a fly, and I didn't kill anyone.
Gosh, I heard shots. There hasn't been another murder, has there?
Now, nothing will happen as long as Max is here.
Apparently, the inspector has turned up something important.
Well, it's about time.
Follow the camera.
He's got the scoop.
Death still fills this house, I warn you.
Tarantella, I paid you good money to guide me back to Luxor. I can't stand in this house any longer.
But first, I must warn everyone. Death lurks around every corner.
So, Mademoiselle Periwinkle, your rendezvous was for your taking out of here. Oh, how the gunshots bring out the dirty laundry.
Dirty laundry indeed. I caught Mrs. Stark heading to the tar pits with this!
It's just what the well-dressed mummy was wearing. That's right. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Just when When you think no one was looking, you decide to dispose of the evidence.
No, look, you got this all wrong.
Right where you disposed of Mrs. Towers.
No, I couldn't.
You're right, Mr. Stark. You couldn't have.
But he's been caught red-handed.
Red-handed disposing some old gauze. I assume you found this in your suitcase?
My makeup kit, actually.
It wasn't yours, and the fact that whoever, whatever, disposed of Mrs. Towers was wearing something along these lines, you thought you had best get rid of it.
What else could I do?
After all, it'd be too painful a memory, wouldn't it?
What are you talking about, Miss Maples?
Lyle, you were infatuated with Mrs. Towers, weren't you? Ever since the 3rd grade. You see, Mr. Stark and Mrs. Towers grew up in the same small town. Went to the same small school. Even sat behind one another. Even after all these years, you still loved her.
Yes, and when Max said that I wanted to come here, why was the happiest guy in the whole world?
And as soon as you arrived, you and Mrs. Towers plotted to kill Professor Towers. As soon as the deed was done, she rejected you. And that's when you killed her.
No, buddy, look, I don't even throw punches in the movies.
Oh, Lyle! Then it was you who killed poor Rose. She probably saw you and Ivy smooching in a dark corner, right?
No, me and Ivy never kissed her. Like, look, you're my only bundle of joy, sugar.
Well, sounds like you haven't figured right this yet, pork chop. Maybe you're not as stupid as I thought you were at first.
We must not jump to any conclusions.
Sorry, Miss Maples, but this one seems to be our bird. Now he's gonna get cooked.
Where are you taking me?
To the jail in Luxor before her cards come true.
And now the card of justice.
No, look, you got this all wrong. I didn't do it, and I didn't kill anyone. I couldn't!
Amalgamated Press, pronto.
Give me the phone, Nellie. You get the scoop on Towers' murder.
Wait, the line's dead.
Trying to fool me, aren't you?
That fool probably wanted to kill us all. Good work, Miss Maples.
Really, we'll all sleep a whole lot better tonight.
I won't sleep a wink.
Wink, wink. Dare not blink. The cards reveal something stinks. One of us in this room is yet the purveyor of death and doom.
That can't be true.
The cards do not lie.
He's got the killer. Really, it can't be one of us.
I think you're just a fraud. How dare you? I am a member of Fortune Tellers International, Soothsayers Credit Union, and a former president of Clairvoyance R Us. Juliet, remember your place.
I'm going into pictures now. I don't care what my place is anymore.
What's she talking about, Max?
Well, about it, honey. I'm always on the lookout for new talent.
Ha! New talent? That bimbo? She couldn't act her way out of a paper bag. Bimbo? Who do you think you are, Sarah Hartman?
Juliet, you're your big up for everything.
Honestly, if you weren't my sister.
So, it's all clear now.
Gosh, I'm still in a fog.
I was the one who put the note in the barrel box, Miss Partridge. I've uncovered all the secrets in the house, and I know who the killer is. The killer is smart enough to steal the will, but I found it in the killer's room.
Well, what can a will prove?
Really, I'm sure everything went to Ivy.
Oh, Jessica, those little gray cells are twisting and turning, Monse.
A bit too much, I'm afraid. I must get some rest now. Call everyone together in the morning to read the will.
Yes, well, I suppose we can all wait until then. Good night.
Tarantella, since we have to stay here another night, I want my money back.
May you find a scorpion in your bed.
Gosh, I won't sleep a wink tonight.
And how are we supposed to get the story to the press? File it together.
Together?
You two are married, aren't you?
How did you know?
You're not suntanned where your ring should be. I can see the white line. You are clever.
Ooh la la.
Please resort, pork chop, or I shall have to resort to brute force.
We've been married for 6 months. Nellie promised to give up this reporter's life when we got married.
I tried, but I can't just stay home and bake blueberry muffins.
I know, you nearly burned the kitchen down.
So when Professor opened the tome, I got the paper to send here. I thought if I could smoke out a good story, Lloyd would see that this is in my blood. Oh, I think Lloyd knows that. You followed Nellie here to bring her back home, didn't you?
I don't want Nellie traveling all over the world. How could we ever raise a family?
You should have thought of that before you married me.
Nellie, Nellie, wait.
L'amour, even when it goes sour, it is sweeter than honey.
Tarantella, did the card say anything about love?
Beware, the card for danger. Before dawn, the card of death may make a last appearance. Beware, Miss Maples.
So, you think Mr. Stark is innocent?
He is an actor. He may kill a role, but not the professor. No, Mr. Stark was framed.
Then who is the killer?
Someone we must make trip on the rope we give him or her. Now, good night, Monsieur Porkchop.
But what are you going to do down there, Miss Maybells?
Read for a while, perhaps fall asleep.
But you should be in your room behind a locked door.
But then the killer wouldn't have a chance, would he?
A chance for what?
To kill me, of course. Good night, Monsieur Porkchop.
But.
Good night, Monsieur Porkchop. The night still has 1,000 eyes. They won't let anything happen to me.
Ah, very well. Good night.
I'm afraid I'm a little tired. You'll keep your eyes open, won't you? The door opened slowly behind Agatha. She heard nothing, but she could feel the hairs on the back of her neck rise. Something told her an intruder lurked in the shadows of the room. Could it be Charles? Could it be the man she loved? Or was it the killer? The killer who had terrorized the town for a week now. Why, he had killed Mrs. Hardy? Oh, I knew. She was the kindest woman, a jolly baker whose mince pies were renowned for their flaky crust. Perhaps she had a sordid past, where nothing was uncovered until...
You're quite clever.
Bit foolish of you putting that gauze in Lyle Stark's makeup kit.
I underestimated you. But don't underestimate me, Miss Maples.
You, of course, killed your uncle for his money.
Uncle Tom was so very, very rich, but he didn't have any idea what to do with all that money. He'd have wasted it in this boring sandbox. But not me. I know just how to go through money. Piles of it.
Monsieur Porkchop had that one figured out.
That idiot?
Monsieur Porkchop is not an idiot.
Quiet. The whole house will hear you.
I suppose you intend to throw me into the tar pits, too.
Why not?
Well, Monsieur Porkchop, I didn't like it. After all, I mean a lot to Monsieur Porkchop, don't I?
Why don't we take a nice moonlight stroll? Get up.
But first, tell me, how did you ever think you would get your hands on the money? You're not in either of your uncle's wills.
You don't say so. But you're smart enough to figure that out.
Oh, you're all full of compliments, let me see. Of course, if you got rid of Mrs. Towers, you would be the closest living heir, right?
Right.
Wrong. You forgot to take into account the professor's daughter.
Uncle Tom didn't have any daughters or sons. The old coot didn't have time for such things.
Dr. Claire, his daughter.
You're daft. She's a silly brat assistant from the colonies, that's all.
They will all come out in court.
You're lying. But just in case you're not, maybe I'll have Claire join you in the tar pits. She could use a little excitement in her life.
Dear me, my big math. Monsieur Porkchop will figure it all out.
Not until after you're dead. Let's go.
Monsieur Porkchop, where are you?
Move it, Toots.
You gotta believe me, Mr. Porkchop. I didn't kill anybody. But I think Peter might have.
Shut up, Chloe.
Peter!
Oh, Jessica, my sweet Jessica. If Monsieur Whittington killed you, how will I live without you?
You won't have to. You're coming with us.
Where are we going?
The tar pits.
Ah, thank you, but no. I've already seen them, and they are not, as the Americans say, the cat's nightshirt.
That's pajamas. Cat's pajamas.
That is what I said.
No, it wasn't.
Let's go. You too, Chloe.
What are you talking about, Peter?
I think it's time we have started heading different directions. Like, I'll move to Paris and live in a beautiful flat overlooking the Champs-Élysées. And you'll sink to the bottom of the tar pits.
You can't mean it, Peter. Not after all
Oh, you've provided excellent cover. But now, who needs it? Let's go. Move, all of you, before I kill you here.
Mon Dieu, he will have the goose head.
Egg, Monsieur Porkchop. Now thanks to you, Sylvia.
I knew he was up to something. I followed him and I saw him cut the phone wire leading to the house.
He was going to kill me!
He was a heartbreaker, all right. I'll drive to Luxford and fetch the inspector.
Mr. Stark will be very glad to see you.
We'll be back as soon as we can.
Oh, Jessica, you are right once again. I am overcome with l'amour.
Perhaps you should take Miss Chloe to her room. She has had quite the night. I'll stay down here and find some rope to tie Peter up so he won't escape.
But of course, and then I shall return. Come along, Miss Chloe. You will soon forget him.
I only tried to take that will to protect him. Lots of things he gave me. See, he's getting his toothbrush back. Mr. Whitting's stump was the sly one. I thought he was behind it when we found out how much he owed in back taxes. What stumped me was, how did he get the basket in front of the door? We were all in the same room. Well, I guess I should find some rope. I feel like someone's watching me. Just the jitters, I suppose. But then again, there's one more piece that must fit into the puzzle if we're to solve 3 murders. Isn't there? King Rottenlux? You're not a mummy? You're not a ghost? No. You're the first mummy I've ever seen to come out of the grave. Bearing Chanel number 5. Can I help it if I've got good taste and everything but men? Pieces of fool all abuse. But you're even bigger fool. Let's go. Where to? What do you think? Not the tar pits again. Oh, good thinking. No one can accuse you of being original. Why fool with success? Now move it. You'll never get away with it.
They didn't believe me when I said I couldn't kill anybody.
Quick, grab the mummy!
Gross!
That's what you've been catching. That's not a real mummy.
Then what is it?
The killer!
The what?
Mr. Stark, you're supposed to be a hero.
Only in the picture.
Oh, this is now time to scribble out technicalities.
A flat tire led Miss Sylvia to catch up with me on the road. She told me that you, Miss Maples, had caught the real culprits.
Yes, I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake. Mr. Whitting's stump here was the murderer, along with Mummy here.
Is that so?
Quite. Let me go!
Why, I'll unravel you.
Well, Miss Maples, Floyd and I agreed to compromise. We're going to share the story and the byline.
Why, what's going on here?
Looks like a great story in the making.
Correct. And now the 2 of you can really report on who killed Professor Towers.
Let's see who the mummy really is.
Mrs. Towers?
Isn't she supposed to be dead?
That's only what we were supposed to think.
Takes more to bug me off than it'll talk this week. And it'll take more than this to convict me of anything.
There's plenty of evidence, I'm afraid. It's all clear now. You and Peter Whitting fell in love and planned it all, didn't you? You brought in the basket yourself. You simply had it hidden around the corner. Peter knocked on the roof of this very room. And when you were the one who suggested it was the door, wasn't you? When you yourself were murdered, everyone forgot it was you who answered the door. The scarf was a nice touch. As for the blinks you told Juliet to use that were in the gun. Oh, the scarf of Mr. de Blowhart's room. You hid the golden hawk in there, and the gauze and louse Stark's makeup kit.
A sly plan. And I thought you were such a nice lady.
I still am, Inspector. I just want to be a rich, nice lady.
Peter and Mrs. Towers figured one of them would inherit a fortune. Unfortunately, they caught wind of the fact that the professor was writing a new will, a will which you may use as evidence, Inspector. Professor Towers actually made Claire the beneficiary to his whole estate. After all, she is his long-lost daughter, to whom he knew he owed a lot, because for years he couldn't find her or help her.
The little witch, he knew she was his daughter. He told me he decided to change his will.
So you had to act fast.
Wouldn't you?
But even if they did find and destroy the new will, or kill Claire, how was Miss Towers to collect any money? Dead people can't hear anything.
Her will leaves everything to her sister. Remember, she mentioned her sister Fern. A quick call to Interpol confirmed that she does have a sister. A twin sister? How easy to masquerade course she needed help. And that's where Mr. Whitting Stump came in. He was the dummy mummy who killed the poor cat Moo Moo, then appeared to you, Juliet, and later dragged you off to the tar pits. It's only too bad poor Rose saw you two kissing in your room. Perhaps next time you'll remember to keep the door closed.
Nosy little bitch, she got what was coming to her.
And how unfortunate that Mr. Whitting Stump studied in Ecuador, where he could easily source curare and blow diets.
And now, Jessica. Mon Dieu, don't these people ever sleep?
Wrap all this up in the morning, can't we, Inspector?
Yes, of course. Come along now, both of you.
Inspector, remind me next time I have a weekend party, leave her off the list.
The only party you will be going to, Mrs. Towers, is a cell block party.
Well, Lloyd, we better get this story filed. You drive all right.
All right, you drive.
What's happened? That looks like Mrs. Towers?
It was Mrs. Towers.
I'm afraid she's been playing deadly games with us, Claire. I know you've inherited a mess, but I'm sure you'll make it work out.
Ah, finally. The card of contentment, my dear.
We could not have solved this case without your help, and I thank you.
Yes, my thanks too. And a special thanks to our winner, Addison Hunt, who gave us the solution to tonight's crime. Would you like to come up and receive your prize, Miss Addison Hunt? Oh, Miss Mademoiselle has a great gift for you. Thank you for all your expertise. Let's give a hand for my Yes, we really did it, didn't we, Jessica?
We, Monsieur?
Oh, finally you say yes.
I meant we as in the two of us, not we as in yes.
Oh, I love it when you deduct.
I'm afraid I have to say goodnight.
Oh, wait for me, schnookums. Hercules' pork chop is coming. To the Lord! Who put this table here? Jessica, wait for me!
We'd like to thank Miss A. Carson for working with us through this show. As you know, it is 6 of our last plays and shows together. So if we could have Miss A. and Carson come up here really quick, and then our seniors will say a few words.
Miss St. Carson for helping us put on an amazing show. But I also want to say thank you to everyone who's come out to all of our performances and supported us through everything. You guys are the reason that we do this. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to the techies, because I know that a lot of them don't get enough credit. They put on an amazing show along with the rest of this cast. Working with this cast has been an amazing journey, and I honestly wish I did this all 4 years, and I truly regret it. And if you're an underclassman and you think this looks fun, trust me, it is. And it is an amazing journey. Please consider joining the drama program. And lastly, I wanted to say thank you so much to Miss A and Carson. You guys have done so much for us, whether it be through drama, choir, helping with our personal lives, even. Like, they do so much for us. Can we just give them a round of applause? They put in so much work and effort into every day just to get everything that they can done. They are absolute rock stars. Thank you. You guys are absolutely amazing, along with the rest of the cast.
So I've been in Miss A's class for the past 4 years, and during that time I have learned so much from her. And I just wanted to say thank you for cultivating an environment that can allow this show to happen, and thank you for letting me be in your class and blow off steam. 1 year I was with her for 3 hours a day. It was fun. Just thank you so much, and thank you, Carson, for stepping out of your way and doing this for us. It means so much to me.
So I've had the amazing privilege of being able to do theater for all 4 years of high school, and I just want to give a huge thanks to Miss A for giving me the opportunity to be in all these productions. It's made my high school experience so much more positive, and I just want to thank Miss A so much for teaching me so much more about acting. I think it's really helped me a lot, and I just want to thank the rest of the amazing cast of people that I've been able to meet through this. I love all you guys so much. And it's going to be really hard saying goodbye to theater. And also thank you, Carson. I don't know where you went. For all your hard work and helping us. I appreciate it so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
So I've been in theater for the past 3 years, and wow, what a journey. All of this has been an amazing ride. Thank you to Miss A, who's taught me so much about acting. I have loved just growing from the little Sal to Peter Whittington. It's been such a heck of a ride. Thanks to all the cast. You all are such amazing people. I've loved building this family and building such strong relationships. Thank you to the techies for all the lights and sound. You guys do such an amazing job. And thanks to all of you for coming out to all our shows and supporting us throughout all of this. It means so much to us. And it being our last performance, it was a really good one, so just thank you all so much.
So I just wanted to say, I'm just kidding. It's been so much fun working with this cast. This cast has been amazing. This show has been amazing. I've done theater ever since freshman year, and it's really like through Mrs. A's work, and Carson has also been there to help, that I've really found my passion, and I actually want to be an actor now, which is great, that I found a potential career out of this. So just thank you to everyone that's been involved with this. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry I came right out of the back crying, but I'm probably going to cry more. I didn't realize, it didn't hit me that I was graduating until last night when we were all getting changed and messing around in the quiet room. And Tyler was being dumb, like Tyler always is. And I thought, wow, I actually have to say goodbye to him. And that's kind of how I feel about everyone here. Of all my theater experiences, this has been the best one. We all put on such a great show tonight, and I really appreciate everything that you've done for me, and still supporting me, even when I was like a butthead and didn't do it sophomore year. I love you all. Thank you very much to Carson and Miss A for constantly helping us and making me a better person. Alright, you guys wanna head out?